Alright guys, we made it to Neel Gap. This is where I left off in the last video, and behind me is where I'm going to be hiking. The Appalachian Trail actually crosses through this this building here, which is Mountain Crossing Outfitter store. It's been here for quite some time. So I'm just going to finish up having a snack, and then I'm going to hit the trail. And like I said, hopefully I'll get this done in 3 days, and then come back. Not to here, but I'm going to come back to an area called Blue Ridge and then get picked up by the van. So, not sure if you saw that, but behind me there is an archway, and the Appalachian Trail actually crosses right through the Mountain Crossings building. So we've begun. This is part 3. See if I can get this hike done. Probably tell it's very overcast, very windy. It's cool out right now. It's probably in the 60s, which is nice. It's Florida was in the 90s, or 90 degrees it's supposed to be. So anyway, this is it. North Carolina, here I come. I'll try not to sniffle too much. Alright, here we go. Black bears are currently active between Neel Gap and Tesnatee Gap. Make sure to hang all bags, trash, items such as toothpaste, deodorants, at least 12 feet above the ground, 8 feet from the nearest trunk. Do not take food into your tent. Cook away from where you sleep. Okay. They allow some camping here. Ooh, it's cold. Cold and windy. When I was packing for this trip, I was thinking about not taking my down jacket with me, and I'm glad that I did, because I'll tell you, when the sun's out, when the sun's in, it's pretty cold. Alright, thought I'd check in. I'm about maybe a little bit over a mile in from Neel Gap. The trail, you can see behind me, it's nice. It's not rocky. It's nice and smooth. Just your normal trail. Some roots crossing it that you got to watch out for. Sun's trying to get out, break out a little bit. I'm sweating. So, it says I already did 2,000 steps, 2,200 steps, something like that. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to get rid of the bottoms of these pants and go to shorts, because even though it's in the 60s right now, I am sweating. You know, I noticed too, pushes down your chest and makes me look like I got man boobs, which I don't think I have man boobs, but anyway, just an observation. We've got Mother Nature's staircase. So, with all the rocks. This trail's a little bit wet, so you gotta be careful not to slip. And it's starting to go up. Okay, just climbed a pretty steep area. It's kind of leveling off right now. Well, I made a discovery. Last time I was out here, I got myself some Gatorade mix, and I can mix it into a bottle, not into my platypus, my Geiger rig that I have, but filter clean water into the bottle and mix it. It tastes really good, and it gives you a little bit of a boost. So I went and bought these Gatorade energy drinks. They're just like little few ounces, a couple, maybe an ounce, 2 ounces or something. And those work out well. But then I went back to the store, it was at Walmart, and I found that Gatorade has these little chewables that pretty much, it's the same as those packets with the juice in it. Now I've got both on me now, and I'm going to go through the juice ones first because they actually weigh more. And you get like 6 of these chewables. They're like jelly, and they weigh next to nothing. I think like all 6 of them weigh less than 1 pouch of that energy shot. So if you're interested in saving weight and you drink those type of things or eat those for energy, check those out. All right, this part's really nice. It's leveled off. I haven't looked at the topography map yet. I don't want to look at it. But it looks good. The sun's coming out now. I'm trying to get past that hump that I experience every time. It's like the first hour when the sweat's rolling into your eyes and burning. And you're still tired because you woke up at 4 in the morning. And I get that, what the hell am I doing? I could be sitting at the house, or that type of feeling. But once you get out here and you start to get in the groove of it, it's very enjoyable. I mean, this beats working any day of the week. So once you don't get discouraged, it's not easy. And of course, any little thing, knees can take you off the trail, as I'm well aware, but a lot of it's psychological too. It's like you're tired, and you got to climb up. You see this climb, and you're thinking to yourself, this is a good opportunity to go ahead and turn around and go back and get out. But if you're gonna quit on an easy section, not the hard section, because I guarantee you're not gonna quit. You're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep pushing. Starting to going downhill right now. Whoops. This is what tore my knees up the last time, but you can probably see it. We're going right down. So as fast as we went up, we're starting to go down. Don't have much views. There's a little bit of a view there, but it's obscured by these trees. Hopefully we'll get some nice views today. Well, one of the reasons why I like to do these videos is that I feel like I'm taking you guys along with me on these hikes, and it gives me something to do also. It gives me a little bit of a break. It helps break up some of those rough areas of the trail. Makes me think about other things. And I know hiking's not for everybody, so I hope that at least you find some of these videos interesting and be able to see some of the pretty views from up here. Some of them are so beautiful and breathtaking, it's worth the effort to get to the top, which it looks like we're getting to the top here. Can't see much, trees are in the way, but we've made a climb. And the Appalachian Trail is well marked. I mean, so many people travel this trail that all you got to do is just look for the white blazes. There's one there. I think it is. Well, now it looks like it is just covered up now. That's all. You just look for the white blazes. You're not going to be able to get lost on this, especially this section of the Appalachian Trail. Every so often this trail crosses like a logging road, And I guarantee you, if you needed help, someone would be by, because there's so many people that hike this thing. You'd get help. I've yet to see any type of poisonous snakes. I've yet to see any bears. I've seen bear tracks, but I haven't seen any bears yet, which could be a good thing. Most often they're just going to run away from you anyway, unless you spook them, you get up on them. Okay. I'm starting to go back down again. All right. Pretty. I'm sure there'll be others. That was really pretty. Snack time. Snickers. I don't know what time it is, but it tastes good. I don't normally eat Snickers unless I'm hiking. My daughter likes when I don't eat them all, because I bring them back and put them in the refrigerator and she eats them. They taste good. Give me a little boost of energy. I'm doing good. My knees feel really good. Pulled off the bottoms of the pants. So starting to overheat. Up and down, up and down. Not many views right now. All right, going downhill. I need both hands. Check back in the field. Well, that was pretty cool. I just passed a couple that had 3 dogs with them. And the dogs were well behaved, and as we were passing, we chatted. We didn't stop, but we were chatting. And I know a lot of my friends on Facebook know that my family adopted a stray that was at the shelter. His name is Meyer. He's a black-mouthed cur and one of the best dogs we've had. So well behaved. And that was my thought. I was like, man, I'd love to take him on the trail with me. And that's probably going to happen one day. I just want to make sure he's not going to run off. He's got to get used to, commands and stuff, because it's a lot of smells and scents out here. And the last thing I need is to have my dog run off into a national forest. The dogs had their own little backpacks, so they're carrying their own water and food, which was kind of cool. But one day I'll take our dog on the trail, and it'll be fun. Oh man, just sprained my ankle. Son of a... Took my eyes off the trail for 2 seconds. And I twisted my ankle. Son of a... Damn it. It'll be alright. That was close. And I'm on a relatively flat part of the trail. I just didn't look down. I slipped off a rock. Alright, well, it's tender, but I think I'll be fine. I wear these trail runners. I don't wear boots. I think boots are too heavy, but Definitely good with ankle support. Well, I'm pretty sure you can hear and you can see it's really windy. I'm not sure what the speed is, but it's probably 20-mile-per-hour winds maybe. The thing that makes me nervous about the wind is the trees, you know. Any dead tree may come down, so not only do I have to look down, make sure I'm not going to walk on something or lose my balance and twist my ankle again. I've got to watch these trees. This is the type of windy day that would knock some trees down. Have to be extra careful. Yeah, it's windy, all right. See, there's a dead branch right there. It doesn't look big, but I'll tell you, they're gonna put a damper in your day. The branch isn't that big, but definitely ruin your day if it hits you. I had a branch come down over at the hostel, hit a tin roof on a little cabin. Probably maybe like 10 feet from me, scared the hell out of me. They didn't expect it. Of course, everybody in the hostel came running out on the porch, wondering what that big bang was. Yeah, I'm a little paranoid. Dead trees all over the place. Okay, well, since the last time I checked in, we've been doing a steady climb. I'm hoping that it gets to a level area, because this has been non-stop. I'm 4 miles in from Neel Gap. I only saw one other person on the trail besides the couple with the dogs. Oh, okay. Still going up, but not as bad. Back there was pretty rough. There's a little bit of a view here. Not sure if you can see that. Actually, I see a clearing. Oh yeah, look at that. Holy moly, look at that. Is that not nice? Wow. God, it's beautiful. I'm glad you guys could see this. I gotta tell you, I'm really liking this Fitbit that I got for myself. It's like a Fitbit HR, something like that. And what I like about it, because I do have my DeLorme InReach Explorer, which is, in my opinion, it's the best satellite tracking mapping device. But you got to pull it off and you got to take a look at it and scroll through some menus. And the thing about the Fitbit, push a button on the side and it gives you the time, how many steps, calories burned, your distance, which the distance I noticed is exact. It matches the distance of the DeLorme, which is pretty cool. So in other words, I don't have to stop to look at the DeLorme. I can just, hit the little button on the Fitbit and it'll give me all the information I need. Another good thing about it is I bought it used on eBay. It was, a return or refurb or something like that. And it wasn't expensive. It was about $130, and it's a wearable one. They've got ones that are cheaper than that. This one does your pulse, and I think that's why it's a little bit more. But it was $130, and it normally costs, if you buy a brand new, it's like $199, something like that. So now you could use the Fitbit to track your mileage, unless you wanted to use your phone, like an app on your phone. But of course, when you're in the mountains here, depending on the cell service you have, you may not be able to get out. If it's one that you got to use cell service, it's not going to work. So and we're about 5 miles in. Okay. If I told you I wasn't tired and sweating like crazy, I'd be lying. But it's obvious. The sweat's running down me. Going uphill again, which I've got my legs working really well, so right ahead we're going up, there's no doubt about it. Take a look. Sorry for the sniffles, my nose is running again. So every video I have got sniffles. Alright, so while I'm hiking up this, those of you who hike, I've noticed something. The maps that they sell for the AT, I've got one for the Georgia section, the mileage is off on it. And it's got to be the map, because my DeLorme, excuse me, and my Fitbit both have the same mileage, right down to the 10th, but the map doesn't. So the question is, which is right? The map, which I have no idea how they got those calculations. Are the signs old signs, and they guessed and they just keep putting back, the same mileage when they replace signs? Or do they use, the new technologies that are out there, satellite and GPS? I don't know, but the problem with that is when you're trying to plan out your trip and you plan on doing like 15 miles, say, and then you want to stay at a campsite or something with, a place that has water, you don't know which is correct. The DeLorme and Fitbit say the mileage is more than what the map shows. Look at that. Okay guys, I thought I'd check in. I'm at 6.19 miles. Went down, came off of a mountain, and got a little bit of knee pain, which I'm surprised. So I think here's what I'm going to do. So we're at 6.19 miles. It's not quite 1 o'clock. I'm getting a little bit hungry. I'm going to try to push for 7.5 miles. So another mile and a little bit more than a half, and I'll stop and make some lunch and give my knees a little bit of a rest, and then see how I feel, and then go the next 7.5 miles to make it 15, and then find a campsite. What I'd like to do is find a campsite early enough. I don't want to be hiking until dark. I've been trying to set up. I'd like to relax for once. So if I could do 15 miles today, I should be good. So that's the game plan. See if I can stick to it. I have no idea. I didn't look at the topography map. I don't know what I've got ahead of me. I don't even really want to look at it. Just keep going. Well, I don't know how to pronounce that. Tesnatee Gap. What's on the other side? Neel Gap, 5.5 miles. So, see, this is what I don't get. It's says Neel's Gap is 5.5 miles, but everything that I've got says 7. I'm at almost 7 miles right now, so I don't get it. So it's a little bit discouraging. I don't think it's 5.5 miles. I think that's a bunch of BS. I've been walking along in 5 miles. But I kept hearing the cars going by, and there's a road down there. I'm not sure if you can see it. So it's going to be lunchtime pretty soon. Here's a little parking lot down here. We've got another sign. This is probably the wilderness area sign again. Let's take a look and see. It says, yeah, Raven Cliffs Wilderness, Chattahoochee National Forest. So, okay, well, I'm going to keep going down, and most likely across the parking lot there is where the Appalachian Trail catches back up again. And there's that road I was talking about. Alright, so I just came off the trail, and I couldn't find the white blaze, and then I saw one right there on that tree. So let's continue this way. Another half a mile, and I'm going to be eating something. Alright, what do we got here? Think about beer. Oh, come on. Oh, Jerry Gap to Neel's Gap. Okay. I went through that the last time I was here, so that's fine. I don't need that. Got the sign facing the wrong way though, because those two locations are to the south. All right, and we're back into Raven Cliffs Wilderness, Chattahoochee National Forest, and oh yeah, I got to climb up again. Oh well, let's get it done. Alright, gonna take a little break here. I'm not taking my pack off just to catch my breath. And you can see off to the side there what I've been dealing with coming up here. Switchbacks going down there. And I know you can't see it, but the road is way down there. I don't know how much I've climbed. I don't know. It's got to be a couple 100 feet at least, and I'm being conservative on that. So looks like there's no end in sight. Just keeps going up and up and up. I'm about 7.5 miles, halfway to where I want to be for this evening, and I waited. They said there was some water here. I'm at Hog Pen Gap, if you're following along on the map. And so I walked to where the water is, and this is the water source. Ramen noodles made with puddle water. Drainage. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but a little crunchy, like it's got dirt in it. Oh well, I'm hungry. I'll eat it. Lunch was okay. Ramen noodles taste the same, even with dirty water. So anyway, but keep moving. Low on water, so this is one of those crunch times. I wasn't going to be scooping that water out. It wasn't enough to fill the bag quickly, so I've got about 5 miles to go before the next water source. I know there's water in my bladder. The bladder in the backpack. There's water in my other bladder too. and I got a bottle of small bottle of water I mixed with Gatorade. So I should be good. Hopefully the next 5 miles will be easy miles. I'm like at 8 miles right now. The alarm says 9. I don't know. I just know I have a lot more to go. Okay guys, it's been a few since I checked in. I'm about probably 12 miles in, and I'm trying to get to Neel Gap Shelter where there's water, and that's going to put me around 15 miles, which is fine for today. I had a big climb getting up to this place. I'm not even sure where it is without looking on the map where I am, but I had a little spell with the knees. The knees started acting up on me. I've got the braces on, so I may have to rethink the braces and see if maybe there's something else that I can use. I probably should have brought some Ace tape to kind of tape them up. So a little bit of a bummer, because I was doing really good, and then starting downhill, it wasn't as painful as a couple weeks ago, but there's some pain. So I just want to get to the shelter. It's still early, it's like 4 o'clock. So for once, maybe I'll be able to set up my stuff and just relax, like I said before, and not have to worry about setting it up real quick and eating and all that stuff. I can just relax, get out of these braces, take my shoes off, and just chill out. So next time I'll check in, it'll be at the campsite. Look at what I found. I found the sign, Neel Gap Shelter. It's down that way. Appalachian Trail's that way. So this is where I'm going to be staying tonight, and I'll check in a bit. So let's go to the shelter. Okay. Shelter's right ahead. Doesn't look like many people here. Just one other person that I've seen on the trail a little bit earlier today. So we got a place to hang the beer bags right there. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but the shelter's right down there. So first thing I need to do is I need to get some water, because I'm pretty much out of water. So this will make it nice. Got beer cables here, so I don't have to deal with trying to hang my bag tonight. So maybe a little bit easier. Okay, let me go get some water. Okay guys, I just had dinner, and the shelter is down the hill there. And got my tarp set up, and underneath that I've got my hammock. I was going to show you, I'll probably have to wait until later on. I'm beat. My knees are, surprisingly, I've got the little bit of an issue with my knees. So I did 15 miles today, and we got into camp it's probably about 5 o'clock, I think. So I think it's about 6:30 right now. There's a water source, actually a better one than I originally thought. It's over there. It's got a nice little waterfall. I was able to fill up the bags and get that taken care of. So I'm going to get a good night's rest, and I will check in with you guys in the morning. Good morning. I'm back on the trail. There were some other people staying at the shelter. I just passed a couple that was staying in the tent just off the trail. So anyway, this is not the earliest start that I wanted, but it's about 8 o'clock. Excuse me. I'm going to just take my time today and try to nurse my knees and hopefully I can get through today and keep going. I thought maybe this trip would take 3 days, but I think definitely it's going to take 4 days to get to North Carolina. So I'm going to wish for the best. Try to do another 15-mile day today if possible. I'll check in a bit. I know the sun's kind of in the way, but check that out. Someone built a retaining wall out of all those stones. Look how deep that is. It's like a gorge. Now, how the hell would somebody get all the way up here and do that? And there's a drainage pipe there, of course. But anyway, I mean, that's amazing. Somebody would be able to come up here and do that. So somebody told me that they use state prisoners to build those stairs that you've seen me go up on the trail. I thought maybe the maintenance workers for the trail, because there's volunteers that maintain it. But I don't know, maybe they do. Because you'll see, like, they'll put little areas to divert rocks to divert water up the trail. But I guess what just amazes me is there's no way to drive into this place. So any tools or whatever, you have to carry them in. They don't allow motor vehicles or motorized vehicles on the trail that I'm aware of. Maybe if it's a, state or something, they can do it. But anyway, just an observation. There was a lot of work that was done in that area. So as you can see, the trail has changed. We've now got a lot of ups and downs here. Not sure if you can see it. It's going down and then back up again. And it's a lot of rocks. All right, stopping for a little breather here. I've been climbing for the past half hour, and there's like no flat areas. It's just straight up. And I know it's very deceiving on camera. You really can't see it, but you can probably see behind me. And then here's what it looks like in front. So you could probably get an idea. I mean, this is just keeps going up. So there's probably a beautiful view once I get to the top of it. I just don't know how much farther I have to go. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to just keep going, right? Okay, checking in. I'm at 5.56 miles. I've been hiking for about 2 hours and change. I am at, sorry about that. I'm at Chattahoochee Gap. I have no idea where that is, but I'm just glad when I came down the trail, which is right behind me, all as I saw is this, which is behind me. Look how far up that goes. But I don't have to go that way. The Appalachian Trail is that way. I'm sure there's going to be some more high areas that we have to climb. Unfortunately, you can't see anything right now. Those trees are kind of blocking it. It is a sunny day. I'm sure we're going to get some good sights when we get up to some of these ridge lines. So anyway, just checking in, and I will check back in a few. All right, so we're in an area that's kind of a little bit odd. A lot of obstructions. You really got to watch your footing. As you can see, it's just it's rocks, and it's going up. So this is much different than earlier. Okay, I thought I'd check in. I'm about 7.5 miles in. I haven't stopped for lunch yet, but I did stop and chat with a very nice guy. His trail name is Airborne. He was an airborne ranger, and he was also a Marine. And I was able to get some ibuprofen from him. And as a thank you, I gave him 2 Snickers bars, and he woofed one down right there because he didn't have any snacks. So I think that was a fair trade. I got myself something to stop the pain, and because look at what I'm dealing with straight ahead here. It's a rock scramble. So of course this is not the nice flat path that we had earlier. Whoop. That would have been nice. These rocks aren't all, they're not all flat. They have a tendency to roll, so you gotta be careful. Anyway, that's there, and we're going up there. All right, I'm gonna need 2 hands. Check back. Okay, stopping for lunch. It's 1 o'clock. About 8.75 miles in from the last shelter, and gonna have some lunch here, and hopefully be able to do a 15-mile day. It's been rough this last few miles, but I think we'll be able to get 15 in, about maybe 2 miles away from Unicoi Gap, and I would like to get into town and get some supplies. So anyway, let me eat something and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, checking in. It's 2:30 and I've hiked 11 miles so far, which is not bad. It's a pretty good day. The terrain here is up and down, lots of rocks, boulders. I've been walking for the past mile on these rocks. And this isn't fun, but we're just trying to get down to that road. Met a young man, been hiking with him, actually camped with him last night. His name's Will, and we're thinking we're gonna get a ride into town and pick up some supplies. So I don't think we're that far away from the road. I can hear the traffic. Okay, looks like the rocks. Looks like there's not many more rocks past here. Good, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to start back on the trail. I'm without Will. Will and I were going to go into town. We called some shuttle services and none of them called back. And so Will decided to hitchhike across the road there. And of course, I sat and watched him and thought it was going to take a while, and he actually got picked up. Some lady picked him up. And so he's going to go into town and resupply. I'm fine. I want to go into town and get some ibuprofen, but I know he has some on him, so I'll probably meet up with him on the trail again. So I'm about 12 miles in. It's relatively early. I think it's only like 3 o'clock. So I'm going to start back up. You can see behind me is a staircase going up, and I don't know where we are. I think we're approaching Trey Mountain, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will check back in a bit. Just at the approach here, there's a sign, Indian Grave Gap, 2.7 miles. And right above it's Unicoi Gap, and that's where we just came from. Yeah, I just came across this sign for Rocky Mountain Trail, which is that way. But something I noticed here, look at this piece missing. I thought maybe somebody vandalized it, but can you notice? Look at that. It's a mark there, another mark there. I wonder if a animal took a bite out of that. Sure does look like it. Okay, I've been walking for quite some time. I'm just about at the end of my hike for today, and I'm going to go a little bit farther, another mile probably. But anyway, it's starting to open up here, and I happen to get a peek of something beautiful, and I wanted you guys to see it. Check it out. Is that not beautiful, huh? Golly. Okay, that mountain that's to the left, that's Trey Mountain. And we gotta get to the top of that. Okay, made it to Trey Gap. So not much farther. The sun is starting to settle. So, okay, made it to the summit of Trey Mountain. Beautiful. I have a half a mile to go, and I'll be at the Tray Mountain Shelter. Got 0.5 miles, and then 0.2 miles in to get to the shelter. And that's where I will be sleeping this evening. There's still a lot of daylight left. It's getting there. Sun's starting to go down. Leg is starting to bother me a little bit. So we'll be there in a few. Let me just take my time. That's all I can do. Don't want to aggravate my knee. Long day. Very, very long day. I found this little camp here, and what a beautiful view here. Okay, well, there's not much room at the shelter, so I've decided to hang my hammock at these trees, and this will be my view for this evening. I sure did that a little bit earlier. So anyway, I'm beat. I'm going to set up, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Hey, good morning. I think I had a good night's sleep. I know I look rough. I'm tired. I did a 19-mile-hour day yesterday, and decided to set up camp at the top of Tray Mountain. I didn't plan on climbing up to Tray Mountain. What's kind of funny is I thought I was on top of Tray Mountain, and then I realized I had another 2.5 miles to go. So I was a little bit disappointed, but it was starting to get dark out, and I decided I'm just going to go for it, which actually is a good thing because I only have 20 miles to go to get to North Carolina state line. So I'm going to see how far I can go today. Here's my camp right there. I've got my tarp up right now because I just had breakfast. Just had some oatmeal, and I'm camping right here. That view. At nighttime you could see lights. I'm not sure what city it was or town it was, but there were several of them in the far distance. So anyway, I just got a supply of water. I'm going to get my stuff all packed up, and then we're going to hit the trail, and I'll check back then. Okay, I'm packed up and getting ready to hit the trail. I was able to wash whatever's left of my hair and give myself a little bit of a bath. My mother used to repeat a saying that my grandmother said, and she called it a whore's bath. So you can use your imagination. Anyway, I feel nice and clean, and even though I don't look like it, I feel well rested. I got a good night's sleep, and I think my wife is right. I do snore because I woke myself up snoring. So. Do you remember I had mentioned about the trail crews that work on the Appalachian Trail? There's actually a section here not too far from camp, and I'll show you. There's a sign, and they're working here. They're grading it out and putting rocks and stuff. So take a look. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on. And that's what those water breaks look like that you see. Yeah, you have to step over all the time. You see them all the time here. It diverts the water. Look at that. Pretty deep. Those are big rocks that they put there. Wow, look at that. A lot of work being done. All right, well, it's probably too early. I'm only a few minutes into the hike, but I'm thinking what today's game plan is going to be. I looked at the map last night, and I've got 20 miles to get to the North Carolina border. Now, the Hiker Hostel is going to pick me up about 2 miles south of the state line. So that means that I'm gonna have to hike in 2 and hike back 2. I think it's like 4, it's either 4 or 5 miles additional. But that's, I believe, in the 20 miles. So it's like 15 miles, say, to get to that pickup location, which is in Georgia. Then I got to continue past, because they won't pick up in North Carolina, which is fine. Now, there's a lot of factors, of course. I would love to try to make the whole trail today, finish it. That's going to be 20 miles. I did 19 yesterday. When I got into camp, my knee was starting to, the ibuprofen was starting to wear off. So one of two things is going to happen. I'm gonna hike it and get all the way there and camp at the state line. I have no idea if there's any places to camp there. Or I'm going to go to the location where I'm going to eventually get picked up, which is, like I said, 2 miles, 2.5 miles before the state line. And then what I'll do is I'll put a call in to have them pick me up at a certain time tomorrow morning. And then in the morning I'll just make a mad dash to the state line and then come back for the pickup. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. I mean, weather could be a factor also. Physically, my knees, that could be another factor. So I think today I'm just gonna take my time. If I gotta hike until dark tonight, I'll do it, but it's a little bit early to make a commitment. We'll just have to see how it goes. I asked why do I do this? I'm not 20 years old. Wish I could go back into the hammock. Okay, well, I'm probably about 3 to 4 miles away from last night's camp on Trey Mountain. And there's really not much to see. It still looks the same. Looks like yesterday's trail. So I'm sorry I haven't put the camera on. But I ran into a few people on the trail passing by. They're going southbound. Just looks like they're out for a day hike. Okay guys, I just hiked up 1,000 feet according to the map. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, I believe this is Kelly Knob. And that's the view. Okay guys, I took a break. And I'm probably not going to do a lot of video on this portion because I need to get where I need to go. So North Carolina is 8 miles from here. The pickup spot is 5 miles. So it's starting to get dark out. I'm going to try to get as far as I can, and then we'll just play it by ear. I took a little bit of a break. My knees feel a little bit better, but I don't think that's going to last for long. So I'll check back in a bit. I ran into 3 young guys who were hiking to Springer from the north, so they're southbounders. And I'm not one for asking favors, but the first guy I saw, I asked him if he had any ibuprofen, and he gave me 2. So I don't know how strong they are, but I'm hoping that they kick in and give me some relief. Some of this terrain here has been pretty harsh. They said the terrain going to North Carolina is pretty bad. So, because I told them I'm going to try to make it close to there tonight, and they kind of have this puzzled look on their face. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. What may be tough for them may be different for me, or vice versa. I don't know. I mean, I've experienced some tough terrain already, so we'll just have to see. Big hill ahead that I got to go up. Of course. Look for the white blaze. Where's my white blaze? All right, I'm at Cowart Gap. Cowart Gap. Here's my trail right ahead, so I'm gonna get going. Right, it shouldn't be much farther. Heading to that last shelter in Georgia, which is Plumorchard Shelter. And I know from the topography map, if it's correct, we just climbed the mountain and we are now coming down. We're going to have a descent of 500 feet and the shelter should be somewhere down there. Now the maps are deceiving sometimes. I don't study them because I don't want to just stand there looking at them. Plus, sometimes I don't want to know when it's what's ahead. So, but I do remember seeing it go up and then back down, and the shelter is in like a valley. So it's real pretty where I'm walking through right now. It's very lush, lots of green fern. All right, good news. I've made it to the shelter. So there were some guys that had a fire going at the entrance to the shelter. I could smell it, and I'm thinking I got to be close. Somebody's got a fire going, and sure enough. So I'm walking back right now to where the shelter is, and I am exhausted. So I'm going to have to close out right now. Close out the video right now, and I'll get back with you guys tomorrow. Okay? Good night. Shelter was pretty crowded, and I ended up having to set up my hammock away from the shelter. And it was a uneventful night until around what was it, 3:50 in the morning. I heard some leaves being crunched outside of my hammock. Thought I dreamt it, but then I was wide awake. I looked at the clock and saw that it was 3:50 in the morning, and I don't know what it was. It was probably a field mouse. I think everything sounds louder when you're out in the forest. So, all right, well, we're pushing forward. Don't have much more to go to get to North Carolina state line. So, there's really not much to see. There's no views. Sun's starting to come out. So I guess I will just keep going, and I'll check back in a little bit when I get closer or get to the sign. All right, so I'll see you guys in a few. Okay guys, the trail is flattened out, and I'm able to pick up some speed here, make up for some of those hills that I had to go up a little while back. There's a little camp spot right there. Nice. Okay. Got a good rhythm going. Hopefully, I've got a hill coming up ahead here. Not much, hopefully not much farther. All right, we made it. Right there, North Carolina, Georgia state line. I want you to take a look at something. Check that out. I was told that's where the old sign used to be. And it's the pipe. And the pipe's been there so long that the tree has wrapped itself around it. And there's the state line sign right there. Well, I appreciate you joining me for this hike, and if you haven't already, go ahead and like my Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube account. Everything is /Hiker63. So I guess what I'm going to do now is backtrack over to Blue Ridge and get my shuttle back to the Hiker Hostel. Until next time, see ya.